first times these medals have seen the light of day since they were packed by the War Office at the end of hostilities in 1945. The box was sealed tightly and the medals beautifully wrapped in tissue paper. We can only imagine the further pain the arrival of this little box must have caused my mother Judy and her mother Jean Brock. Joe and Jim were golden boys of their generation. Already acknowledged as leaders among their peers, their futures and social positions were assured. They knew how to live life to the fullest, sharing good times with a wide group of mates. One often wonders what they would have done if they had not perished in war. I'm absolutely certain Tasmania would have benefited enormously from their energy and commitment. Like other families who lost loved ones during the Scarsby War, we all must think how different our lives would have been if they had survived. For starters, I would not be called by the name I have had for nearly 70 years, and my brothers and sisters missed out on having fabulous uncles, aunts and cousins. My late older brother Jamie and I were much indulged as replacement sons by our grandmother. Jamie started as a young boarder here before my father put his foot down to keep his family of 6 children together in Hobart, despite their grandmother's wishes. Our mother Judy carried the burden of her grieving mother as well as her own profound sense of loss. In the space of a very few years she had lost her father and her only 2 brothers. It was she as a young mother in her early 20s who answered that doorbell twice to receive those awful telegrams. How lucky are we that all of us have grown up without dreading that ringing of the doorbell. We grew up in the 50s and 60s with the almost inevitable destiny that one would also be called upon to make similar sacrifices. It must be hard for subsequent generations to understand why a whole generation signed up to serve king and country. A lot of these chaps saw it as a great adventure, notwithstanding the idea of the horrors they would face. It was an opportunity to break away from their preordained regular lives and see the world. Others felt an obligation to do the right thing. Joe and Jim grew up at Meadowbank in the Derwent Valley. They were raised on a diet of Biggles novels. That daring, dashing, glamorous trade of fictional aviators of the 30s and 40s. It did not surprise that they volunteered for the Royal Australian Air Force. Joe, the elder, went to Ottawa in Canada to train as a pilot, and Jim trained mostly in Australia to be a navigator wireless operator. They both served with 455 Squadron RAAF based in the UK. Jim, on the day after his 21st birthday, was shot down over the North Sea near Germany on the 10th of August 1944. He is buried in a beautifully maintained war cemetery in Hanover, Germany, along with thousands of others who gave their lives to defeat the evil that was Hitler. 6 months later, on the 27th of February 1945, Joe, aged 23, just failed to bring home his crippled Beaufighter aircraft and bailed out painfully close to the Scottish coast. Sadly, an ill-favoured wind blew him out into the freezing cold waters of the North Sea. 4 months later, his body floated ashore.